This is going to be a very hard video for me to make and for you to watch because I'm going to be speaking about something that is very heavy. And I want to start with saying that grief is incurable. Grief is incurable. Grief grief has a way of making you feel lost, and that is completely normal. But I'm going to read a quote that I saw somewhere in a book many years ago, and it says, because we don't know when we will die, we get to think of life as an inexhaustible well. Yet everything happens only a certain number of times, and a very small number, really. How many more times will you remember a certain afternoon of your childhood? Some afternoon that is so deeply a part of your being that you cannot conceive of your life without it. Perhaps 4 or 5 more times. Perhaps not even that. How many more times will you watch the full moon rise? Maybe 20. What can I say? Sense of bereavement and loss. There is nothing anyone can say that will make it make sense. I remember when I was much younger, much younger. I had a friend, he's the one that even taught me how to make noodles. I'm the best noodle maker in my house. He's the one that taught me how to make noodles, and we were in primary school, and he died. I don't even know how. His mom didn't want to talk about it, and I was confused because I was much younger. I'm like, what do you mean I'm not going to see him again? Did he move to another school? He's just gone? And it was an awakening moment for me. Look at how many years ago that was, and I still remember him today because he taught me how to do noodles. Because he was such a nice guy, a nice little boy. My mom recently lost a friend. I cannot just imagine. My dad too recently lost his friend. And I cannot imagine losing any of my friends. It will break me. I cannot imagine a mother losing a child. I remember a quote I read somewhere that when a child loses their mother or father, they are called an orphan. But when a mother or father loses his child, there is no name because the pain is so great. Because you feel like I could have done something. The child most likely could not have done anything for the parent to pass away, but the mother or the father will feel like I could have done something. It's so much more painful when grief comes because of sickness, illness, or an accident, something that could have been preventable, than if the person was very old and it was kind of time to go to the Lord. And the church doesn't make comfort easier by saying things like, oh, if he or she is saved, you see in heaven, don't worry. At least you have other children, at least you have other friends, or at least you have. Please don't say that. Please don't say that to anybody. You are not comforting them that way. If you don't have anything to say, just don't say anything. Because truthfully, there's nothing to really say. So just don't say anything. Job chapter 2, verse 12. When his friends saw him from afar off and they saw him disfigured beyond recognition, they lifted up their voices and they wept with him. And they sat down with Job on the ground for 7 days and 7 nights and spoke not a word to him, for they saw that his grief and his pain was very great. If you are trying to console someone that has just lost someone, please shut up and just stay with them and just let your presence comfort them, because there is really no words that can truly encapsulate the loss. I'm trying to not cry. I work in healthcare, and so I've seen quite a number of deaths. I have seen people try their best with their money and their finances and their prayers, and sometimes, but I'm going to read a quote that I saw somewhere in a book many years ago, and it says, because we don't know when we will die, we get to think of life as an inexhaustible well. Yet everything happens only a certain number of times, and a very small number, really. How many more times will you remember a certain afternoon of your childhood? Some afternoon that is so deeply a part of your being that you cannot conceive of your life without it. Perhaps 4 or 5 more times. Perhaps not even that. How many more times will you watch the full moon rise? Maybe 20. And yet, it all seems limitless. It all seems inexhaustible. This is from the novel The Sheltering Sky by Paul Boles or Boles. And just to provide some sense of comfort, because I know this is not an easy thing to deal with at all. Cry it out. Cry it out. I do not want to cry. But cry it out. Cry the pain out. Cry the grief out. Cry it out for as long as you need to cry it out. Cry it out. Let it be a reminder that life is short. Let it be a reminder that life is unpredictable and yet still beautiful. Life is short, unpredictable, and beautiful all in one, and that is something that death always reminds us of. So live. It's hard to comprehend anything else when you've lost someone that you thought you would see for the rest of your life, that you would groom, that you would grow with. I can't imagine losing my parents. I can't imagine losing my siblings. I cannot. My beautiful sisters. I can't imagine losing my best friend. So anytime I see people deal with grief, all I can do is hug you. Recently, one of my not so close friends, he lost his mom, and he spent so much money on her surgery. She still didn't make it, and wish I could, I wish I could. I don't even know. I wish I could comfort him because we're not so close. I could not, like, I don't pass my boundaries, but I hugged him. Because what more can I say? What more can I do? I can't say anything that will make sense to someone who is grieving. The person who is grieving just wants the person that they lost back. Pastor E. Adeboye lost his son. If you know the man, you know that he's such a sweet soul, such a blessed soul. He's such a servant of God. He's such a man of God. He felt it. And he said it. And he said that church people would feel like they know what to say to ease the situation, which doesn't work at all. And he said a little girl wrote a letter to him that said, "Let God carry you." So that is, I'm just going to say what that little girl said. Let God carry you through this grief. If you are a believer, let God carry you. He's our Father. And one day we would also go and leave people behind who will grieve us. So let God carry you. Take away with yourself that always remember that this life is so short. It seems limitless, but it's really limited. It is that short, and live your fullest life. Live because would you what would you do? Comfort to Zion. And I pray that God carries you through this difficult time. I I truly believe that you will not rely on your strength because you really don't have any against grief. Rely on God's strength. Just rely on His strength and His love because there's really not much that you can do. There's really not much that can comfort you. So, if you know someone who is grieving and you have no idea what to say to the person, I hope I've spoken what you want to say. I hope that if you are the person who is grieving, who is watching this, I hope that your heart chooses to let God carry it, chooses to let it go because it's not easy. I'm just saying it, but it's not easy, and to take your time. And don't let anyone say things to you that you feel that they think will make you feel better or they try to rush you to move on. No, take your time. Cry. And let God carry it.